they're a very dangerous side, and I think that whichever team comes out and executes it from the start of the game, I think it's important that you start really well in whether you bat or bowl first. Them first 10 over periods are going to be really crucial, because we know how damaging the West Indies can be during that period. But also, equally, I think if we get off to a good start, then we can start to try and get into our work a bit. I think if we're tentative and if we're a bit standoffish and wait for things to happen, that's when they can dominate you from the start. So it's important that you turn up with the right attitude and the right intent in them first 10 overs, bat or ball. Yeah, we have prepared for it. It's something we played them in a warm-up game down at Southampton on the nursery ground there, and they bowled very similar. Obviously, had a lot of success with it last game and got off to a really good start. So I expect that they will come with a similar type plan. But the follow-up from bouncers and short bowling is the key. I think at the end of the day, I think if you just stick to one plan, then teams get on top of you pretty quick, or they adjust quick enough. So I think it's important your follow-up deliveries, and that goes for us as well. If you do go with a short plan, keep them on the hook, keep them guessing with good bowling. I think if you over attack and continue to go too short, or you continue to go too full, whatever it might be, it's about your follow-ups from them balls. But we're well and truly prepared, no doubt. Each bowler will have individual plans. I think that when you come up against someone as dangerous as Chris, you have to be prepared, like I said before, that he's going to hit boundaries. So it's about trying to attack his weaknesses early and making sure that we're putting the ball in the areas that we want to be bowling. And I think if you second guess yourself, if you're a bit tentative, if you're a bit nervous with the ball in hand, he'll get all over you. And once he's going, he's so hard to stop. So I think it's important that you come prepared to take the contest to him, because he definitely does that the other way. It's probably a little bit drier than I expected it to be, the wicket. Obviously, I can't imagine they would have put a huge amount of water into it over the last couple of days with there being so much weather around. So, no, I'm not surprised how it looks, but I think you have to understand that in conditions like this, you're going to go for boundaries. So the key to bowling, I think, is to make sure that they're hitting your best ball. I think that if you're executing your best ball over and over and they're playing good shots in our percentages, then you have to wear that. We know how fast the outfields are here in England, and we know how flat wickets can be at times. So you have to be prepared to suck up some pressure and soak up a few boundaries here and there, as long as we're getting hit in our areas. And we often talk about now good execution versus poor execution, and that's all it is. Did they hit a good ball for 4? Yes. So don't worry about that. If it's poor execution or a poor plan on my behalf, then that's something to reassess at the end of the game. It's going to play a big part, no doubt. I think when teams have got left and right hand combinations, they've always got somebody able to target that boundary. So that's something that will be taken into account, no doubt, throughout the game. And as a bowling unit, it's about defending the big side. We saw the other game, England-Pakistan, there's a lot of twos out to that long side, so I think it's about using that running game and not neglect that at all, because if you're just one pace focused, you're just boundaries or 6 focused, you miss out on a lot of scoring opportunities. So I think we can use our speed between the wickets to that long side and try and put some pressure on, and on the other side build some pressure by cutting off them twos and really restricting easy runs out there. I haven't thought too much about it, but I know that it has worked in Australia in domestic cricket. I think it gives the medical officers and the coaching staff, or whoever makes that final, or the doctor, the person who makes that final decision, easier knowing that somebody can come in and replace. The last thing you want is people getting hit, obviously, but if there is, but you also don't want the game to be determined by someone getting hit and then being out of the game. If that happens in the first over, that's a huge disadvantage. So potentially something to look at, no doubt. I think that in Australia, playing for Victoria, we've had a few instances where it's happened, 1 or 2 to Will Pukovski being hit by a bouncer, and someone else has come in, and we had a situation where Dan Christian came in as a batter, but we chose not to bowl him because Will obviously didn't bowl. So it was one of those things that we thought was fair and reasonable to not take advantage of the rule and bring an all-rounder in when that was the only option we had at the time. So if everyone plays ball, I think it's a good decision. It's all about the safety of the player, and at the end of the day, a game of cricket isn't as important as someone's health.